Ciryl Gane did not prove to be the compelling test for Jon Jones' UFC heavyweight debut that we thought it would be, suffering a first-round submission loss to Jones in the UFC 285 headliner on Saturday in Las Vegas. This was a rough go for Gane from beginning to end. Couldn't get anything going. Gets taken to the ground early on and gets caught in a guillotine choke that he simply could not escape, forced to tap out, and now kind of raises questions about where he goes from here. Between the Francis Ngannou loss and his first title shot and then this one, there's clearly a big hole in his ground game, and there's going to be some massive work needed if he wants to work his way back up to this position again, and especially have a chance to beat someone like Jones, who clearly has just such a massive advantage over him on the mat, as we saw in Las Vegas on Saturday night. And I think now he's going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how he's going to build off of this, because it was certainly a very crushing blow. I think a lot of people were thinking this was going to be a more competitive, longer fight, even gave him a shot at winning this one, but all of that is for naught and is back to the drawing board for Gane. And I think you got to look around and see what fights make sense for him in the heavyweight division at this point. If I was him, I'd be looking at that Curtis Blaydes versus Sergey Pavlovich fight coming up on April 22nd pretty closely to just see how that plays out and who comes out of it. I think Pavlovich would be a pretty interesting matchup for him, and I think Curtis Blaydes would be a fight that he should avoid at all costs, given the grappling acumen of Blaydes and how that fight would play out. I do think Pavlovich is a much more interesting fight for him. Whether he wins or loses coming out of that, I still think it makes a lot of sense considering where they're ranked, where they're at in the division, and of course whoever comes out of that fight is not going to be getting right into a title shot, with Jon Jones likely to make his first defense against Stipe Miocic in the summer. So if you're Ciryl Gane, as he said, he's very mad at himself for this performance. He feels like it was his first true defeat in mixed martial arts, definitive outcome, and he's now going to figure out how to put the pieces back together and get back on track.